Welcome to the channel. Today's topic, left hand comp with -7 chords. Let's get started. First thing to remember is that the chords are built like a snowman. Let me demonstrate. We play the note, we skip the note. We play the note, we skip the note. That's how we build chords in music. Okay? So that's the main idea. So this kind of structure of chord build we called triads. The triads include 1, 3, and 5. And of course we are dealing with inversions of that chord as well. There's two inversions, first and second. So now by adding additional note to the family of notes, we turn triads into 7 chords. When we add 3 tensions on top, we turn the whole thing into tensions. So that's the idea. When we count, because 1 represents the root, we skip 2, remember? So we jump into 3, we skip 4, we jump into 5, we skip 6, into 7, and of course the tensions 9th, 11, and 13. So this is the fundamental concept of building chords in music. Let's take a look how this concept looks like on an instrument. So we've got the piano, and we've got middle C. We play the note, we skip the note. We play the note, we skip the note. We play the note, we skip the note. Okay? So look, if I continue, we end up playing the same notes. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turns out, we can build our chords made out of 7 notes. Interesting, right? So you've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. These are tensions. 7th, it's a family of 7 chords, note, and of course 1, 3, 5 belongs to the triads. Okay, so these are the fundamentals of how we pursue the chords, how we see them, how we find them. Since I have only 5 fingers in my left hand, I have to be as selectives, which means some of the notes, they have to go. 5 fingers versus 7 notes. Now I have to make decisions which notes to present on my instrument. The last thing I want to do is to present weak notes, obvious notes, and notes what they make least different in the sound I'm about to play. I've got 4 notes. The most impactful notes to the flavor of the chords are 3 and 7. 3 changes the mood from major to minor, from minor to major, from happy to sad, from sad to happy. My 7th note decides if the sound becomes more permanent into that minor flavor or more distinct with, walking away from that into interesting, very interesting. We call it a question mark because we could use this kind of flavor towards many different things. Right? It could be mystery, it could be a crime. So basically, it gives us the tone of question mark. And now this question mark becomes more settled or more expanded towards that flavor. We introduced the 3 and 7 as a primary target of my attention. Now I would love to include 3 and 7 into my left hand fingering. So now if I use these two notes, I'm gonna use 2 fingers. What's left is the 3 fingers. It doesn't mean that I have to play them all right away. I could be very satisfied by playing these two. So look, C minor 7. I'm playing the root. The root of the music comes from somewhere. Most of the time it's gonna come from the bass player, which means I don't have to worry about the root. So I'm skipping the root. The root is gonna be presented. Now, if I add to the root sound 3 and 7 of the minor chord, like C7 for example, it already sounds wonderful. If I switch the chord to something else, like F minor 7, okay, feels complete. So we are already doing great, but we could add additional flavor. When you decide to add additional flavor to your playing, our tensions come to life. Our tensions are like spices in a kitchen. You make a soup. The soup is simple. Spices, by adding, for example, tension 9th, are going to add extra flavor. Okay? And complete possible scale you want to use on top of that chord. Here is the inversion of that relationship between 3, 7, and tension 9th. Here's another inversion. When the 7 is on the bottom, flat 3 or 3 is on top, and 9 is right between them. Tension 9th. Okay? So not only I hear the root played by someone else, I play 3, 7, and tension, one of the tensions. For minor chords, it's very wise not to use all the tensions at once. It's like adding too many spices into your soup, and everything starts kind of tasting like overwhelmed, right? So now we are going to be selective. Like we did with dominant 7 chords, we focused on tension 9th and 13th, and we make the case towards the tension 11th. Now, when we deal with the minor chords, it would be wise to use tension 9th and 11th together. The tension 9th and 11th completes this beautiful mystic minor sound. So the biggest difference how we pursue the snowman, that in the minor chord we lower the 3rd and we lower the 7th. It's still 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9th, but we call it 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7, 9. So this becomes this, and automatically it changes the mood of that chord. Let's take a look how we can maintain and control tension ninth with rest of the minor 7 chord. This is the C minor 7 minus the root, so the root is here. I take it out, and we use 4 fingers to present 4 notes. The next inversion, it's here. The next inversion, we flip the lower note 1 octave higher, and we just continue. Right? So now if this level serves us for some reason, okay? When I decide to add the tension 11th, things get a little bit more complicated, because the last thing I want to do is to use 5 fingers. It's unnecessarily. Usually voicings in harmony, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, right? So you got the idea. So now, 4 voicing is totally enough to just deliver any flavor you wish to have in music. So now, remember the previous chord? We included flat 3, 5, flat 7, 9th. So now, in order to do a room for 11th, I have to skip the 5. The 5 is the weakest note at this moment. So all of a sudden, we created something this. Of course, for example, one of the inversions could be extremely difficult or uncomfortable. I could always switch or eliminate one of the tensions and present a similar outcome. If I ever decide to include the C as a root somewhere in a chord, beautiful, no problem. If I decide to go for 5, beautiful, no problem. See? This inversion includes flat 7, tension 9th, flat 3, and 11th. But then I can switch between 11 and 5. Okay, got the idea, right? So the manipulation is fabulous. Now we can basically find a way to express your personality. Like this is one of the clusters, but it's gonna be very close. Beautiful, especially for a saxophone section in big band. There is a tension 9, flat 3, tension 11th, and 5. I could switch between 5 and 7. I can switch between 5 and 11th. I can switch between flat 3 and tension 9th. And that's the idea, between 9 and 1. Okay? As a composer, I have to know the range of my instrument. So if I decide to build a C minor 7, you don't see, so this is the root, this is the tension 9, flat 3, tension 11th, and 7. I have to understand where I am on the instrument and what else is possible, what kind of instrument could play such lower notes, and if it's gonna sound good. So I take this under consideration as well when I comp. You see, we used root. I can always skip it and use something else. So that's the idea. turns out the power of your imagination and the education. It's everything. You unleash all your senses. You erupt with creativity. And all of a sudden, you start measuring them through the knowledge, through the substance, through the instrumentation, through the composition. So it's a phenomenal tool how to develop your ear training and also awareness of your music composition. Royal Composer provides students around the world with detailed musical knowledge.
Let's take the challenge out of building chords. I will show you the way.
Our signature course, Chord World, teaches you how to build chords in music. We are talking about triad 7 chords and tensions with all the inversions, 21st century stuff. With a little bit of effort, topics such as 7 chords or tensions could become your favorite topics. The Chord World provides everything you need to know about the chords in music from A to Z. No matter what style of music you create, our powerful, detailed video presentations will help your music production. If you are serious about the music creation, check out Chord World. We are here to support you and your music.